it's Betsy from Cuttin Corners Vinyl in Nederland, Texas, and today we have a super fun video. We're going to show you how to take this Dollar Tree sign and turn it from something that's store-bought into something that is definitely more custom made. Now, the file that we are using today is available on my Patreon page for my $4 or more a month patrons. Now, remember, if you are a $10 or more a month patrons, these are available for commercial use. So, you'll need your sign from the Dollar Tree, and if you can't find the mug sign, you can use, you know, any sign board and just make the mug on back. So, you're also gonna need your vinyl, which we are using HTV for this project, so we're gonna use white, Thermaflex Plus, Deco Film Soft Metallic Light Brown, Rainbow Pineapple Glitterflex Ultra, Neon Rainbow Jade Glitterflex Ultra, and Brilliant Chameleon Blue. Now, this week on our website, our sale that runs through Mother's Day is 20% off your entire purchase. No code needed in case you're interested in the vinyls, but you don't have to purchase them. You're also going to need some paint, which I use the Home Decor Chalk Art, the black chalk paint, and some twine. So if you'll give me a moment to change the camera angle, we'll go over how to make this. Okie dokie. So as you can see, we're in Cricut Design Space. So we're going to go down here to upload. Now I have already downloaded the files. There are two different versions, one that has an outline. We don't need that one because we have painted our background black, just so you know. But in case you're doing it, if you're not doing it on the mug board, you can still do it this way. Okay, so as you can see, there is our design. So the first thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and ungroup our design. And one thing I do notice, we're going to kind of go through and weld our pieces together because, well, that's the easiest way to do it. And then that way we can make sure everything is joined all together as one. So we're starting with the tea colored portion. There we go. Now we still have a few more pieces of tea colored stuff, but we do, part of the thing is grabbing them slowly is part of it, but it does help to make sure you don't click off of it. Okay. Okay, let's see what happens when we make that invisible. Okay, so that's pretty much what we want it to do. Okay, so now that can disappear. Now I'm going to take and weld together the word sunshine. There we go. Grab our U because I missed that one. And as we do this, I'm going to take and make parts not visible so that way I can make sure everything is grabbed. It's just, I have found it to be easier that way. Okay, next up we're going to do the same thing with our blue layer. Weld and make it disappear. Weld our gray, make it disappear. All of the dots, make it disappear. Okay. Weld that together, make our straw disappear. Now, as you can see, I'm keeping them together in smaller sections. It doesn't have to be, you know what I'm saying? Now, the last thing we need to do is our other ice cube. Weld that. make it invisible. Now I do need to take and where I can see that piece, the tea colored again, I need to grab, there's one little piece I missed, and weld that. Okay, now I'm going to make sure that's not visible. Now I can take everything else, select it, and weld it. There we go. Now, everything's all joined in their respective color groups, and it's done in a way so it'll be easier to lay out, because I don't want to have to piece in all those little pieces. Hopefully y'all don't either. So we do it that way, double checking how everything looks. It looks good to me. So now I'm going to click on Make It. There we go. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Hold on. I don't know why that's not listed on the same page. None of the grays are. Okay. So let's cancel that. Okay. So this ice cube and this ice cube and the straw, I want to duplicate. I want to weld that together. Make sure it's back where it's supposed to be. The reason why I'm doing this is because we're using that iridescent vinyl, and I almost forgot to do this. And I'm going to attach that because it needs a white background. So there we go. So now I'm going to grab this, and we're going to change the color. Okay. There we go. So now we need to make sure our yellows, there we go. So now, as you can see, there's 5 colors instead of there being multiples. Now we can go back to Make It. Okay. So since we're doing this all in HTV, we do want to make sure we mirror it. There we go. Mirror. 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 And mirror. So one of the things I do want to do is I want to make sure when I cut, I start with these 3, because I'm going to cut these 3 on regular HTV, and then I'm going to cut these bottom 2 on glitter, if that makes sense, because glitter is thicker. So we're going to go ahead and click Continue. Actually, I'm going to start it here because this one does need to be cut on glitter too. I'm going to click Continue. And the first time I'm going to choose regular, and then once I cut the 2 ones, the Deco Film Soft Metallic and the white, then we'll come over here and switch it to glitter iron on. If you hear any background noise, we have someone out installing a AC unit today. So here is my mason jar, or just big jug, that we're going to turn into our outside sign. The first thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and cut off the string, because we don't need this. We're going to change it to something prettier. And I'm going to take and use this as a Cricut palette knife kind of thing. And I'm going to take and remove the fruit off of it. Okay? So as you can see, that's what it looks like. Now I am going to take to fix where the paper lifted. This is Mod Podge. This is dishwasher safe gloss. Doesn't really matter which one you use, but I'm going to take some of this, and you can save those pieces to the side of the fruit, because you don't know when you're going to need them. You might need them for something. So I'm going to take one of my big paint brushes, that we bought the other day at Dollar Tree. I'm just kind of breaking it apart because whenever they come from the store, they come glued together. Don't ask me why. So I'm going to dust this off, and then I'm just going to take my dishwasher safe Mod Podge, dip into it, and we're just going to kind of seal over that paper edge. It definitely helps to keep everything down so it doesn't lift any more of the paper. And it gives something kind of for the paint to adhere to. So I'm just kind of going over the whole thing, this side of it. There we go. Because this is going to be the back side of our sign, so it really doesn't matter what this looks like, but I do want to paint the whole thing black. So this kind of gives, on this side where the paper is, something to give it a little bit more adherence. So we're gonna let this dry for a couple of hours, and then we'll come back and we'll start to paint, and I'll show you how to do that part. So now all of my Mod Podge is dry. So I'm gonna take, this is the Folk Art Home Decor chalk paint in black, and we're going to paint this thing black. Both sides. I'll probably only show you painting this side, and like on this one side, it doesn't have to be like the most full coverage. Again, this is the back side of the sign, so I mean, it will cover, don't think that it won't, but because this is the back side of the sign, a lot of the parts of it don't really matter as much. I just didn't want all of the lettering and such to be visible, if that makes sense. Just kind of apply it. And see, it just goes on nice and easy. And I like a matte finish paint. I don't know how y'all feel about it, but for me, I like using chalk paint because I like the matte finish of it. Now the front's gonna be, you know, covered in vinyl for the most part, so that's not going to be matte finish, but one side of it will. And plus I like that it kind of plays on textures too. Whenever you're doing something like this and you're adding color. You know, some things might be shiny, some things might be glittery. To me, it kind of gives like an extra appeal to it. One thing that I have found though when I'm doing paint projects like this, to keep our brush strokes the same, it definitely helps make things look cohesive. So now we just finish it out. But you can see I'm just applying a good even light layer. Now we do want to make sure that this is completely dry. So I'm doing this the day before I'm putting on the vinyl. So like you're seeing different parts of the process, I guess. Best way to put it. But the main areas on this for me that need to make sure that we have enough coverage is where there is a lot of texture, which is where the glitter part is. So there we go. I'm just gonna take right here my pair of scissors because I can wipe those off. You can use what you want to. And that's just there to kind of hold it in place so it doesn't sit there and keep wanting to shift on me. So there we go. So as you can see, that's a nice even coat of black. I'm gonna let this dry and then we'll paint the other side. But I'm gonna paint the other side off camera. When we come back, we'll be ready to apply vinyl. So the first thing that I need to do is I have already cut and weeded all the pieces to save on time because, you know, that was a lot. So I'm lining this up the way that I want it to, so we're going with our white layer first. Now, I have my Cricut Easy Press right here. It is set to 275 instead of the normal 330. One of the reasons why we're doing that is because, one, it's so many layers, and two, it's going on a black background. And with the white backed glitters, it can affect how it looks. You can melt them when it gets too hot, and it always works out more so whenever it's on a black background. So for me, it's just easier to do it this way. And we want it to bond. It doesn't have to be perfect because we're adding more and more on top of it. So let's see what it's doing. Almost there. But black transfers heat more, so it definitely has some effect. Okay, and again, it's just constantly replacing. There we go. And checking to see how everything is. So I need to go on that corner. Oh, I need to do the handle. So we're gonna hold it down. But this isn't going through the washing machine either, like your normal HTV, so it's not as imperative, I guess. Okay. Oh, we have that one little piece up there. So I'm just putting some weight behind this. There we go. Oh, gotta go over on the handle a little bit more. So that's part of this, is it's, you know, trial and error. What works best? Okay, need to do the handle a little bit more. And I do have my Steady Betty under here. That's what I use when I use my Cricut Easy Press. Okay. Need to go down there just a little bit. And now we're good. Okay, so we've got our white layer affixed. Oh, I see something. We missed when weeding, but that's okay. Yep, and right there too. Even though it's hot, you can still get it out of there. Oh. Right there too. There we go. Okay, so that's all the little pieces we missed. So next up, we're gonna take our chameleon layer, because that one can handle more heat. So we're just going to start laying that atop the white. And it just gives it, to me, it's just something a little bit extra, you know what I mean? Which is something I like to do. is to have it where, you know, it makes it a little more fun. Okay. Oop. Okay. Okie dokie. So now it's all cool. You can see how it looks. See how it's got a little bit of texture to it, which is why I chose this material. I know that it's a little harder to work with whenever you're doing it on a sign, but to me it's worth it for how it looks. So now I'm just putting on the glitter. I haven't attached the teal yet or the yellow. So I'm just going to heat everything now for about 10 seconds or so, and then we'll see where we're at. Because again, we're going on a black backing. We'll see how much it likes to stick. You know, part of it is gotta go a little again. And I left the wood, or not really the wood, because this is more of like it's like particle board, where it's like lots of wood piece pulp put together. Not particle board, that would be MDO, I think. Okay. So, gotta go back over that. So, and whenever you find a spot like that that kind of needs extra care, you can leave your Teflon sheet off of it to see what it needs. So you can kind of give it targeted heat. And on stuff like adding the letters, to me, it would be much easier to use the mini press than this one. But it's also, you know, this is the one I pulled out, so this is the one we're going to use. So, kind of go back. You see what I'm saying? A lot of it is we're just sitting here layering and re-going over. So, that neon jade looks good. Now let's make sure our yellow. And tell me that this does not scream sunshine and sweet tea. There we go. See how good that looks? I am in love. So now that is pretty much finished and raring to go. So the only thing I need to do is I'm turning off my easy press, is if you do want to hang this and use string, you do have to poke holes. I don't think I'm going to do that on this one, but yeah, that's what the finished product looks like. How cute is that? So if you'll give me a minute to change the camera angle, we'll go over everything we did. Look how cute this came out. So it went from something like this to this. So I prefer mine, but let's let you decide. What do you think? So if you like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button right down below. And if you hit the notification bell icon next to it, that will notify you when I post new videos. But I guess that's it. So we'll see y'all later. Bye.